Let me ask you a question. What do you think is Harbor Freight's superpower? What are they good at? What do they do better than anyone else? Now, they got to be good at something. They started out as a tiny import business, but they've since grown to over 1,600 stores in 48 states. So they must be doing something right. Well, things are about to get tougher for them. There's a new company with deep pockets opening up in the US that could challenge Harbor Freight at the very heart of their business. And if they're not careful, it could cut severely into their market share and maybe even put them out of business entirely. Harbor Freight, for the longest time, has had a reputation for cheap tools, both in the sense of being low quality and also in the sense of being inexpensive. But any regular Harbor Freight shopper will tell you that their quality has really increased over the past few years. And that's due in part to their good, better, best strategy, where they sell tools at different price points and different levels of quality, similar to how the old Sears catalog used to do things. They're trying to capture all sides of the market and appeal to people who are just looking for budget tools, but also people who want quality tools that'll last. Their biggest superpower, in my opinion, though, is their cost. If you compare nearly any Harbor Freight tool to its name brand competitor, they will most oftentimes be much less expensive and have a similar quality. In fact, if you look up any product on their website, they'll show you the prices of the most comparable tool from their competitors. So how is it that they can stay so competitive on price? Well, here's their secret. Harbor Freight cuts out the middleman. If you look at the business model for DeWalt, they have cost to design their tools, they've got cost to manufacture their tools, they have cost to ship their tools, and then they have to deal with middlemen. They don't really have retail stores for themselves, and so they have to sell through places like Amazon and Home Depot, and there's a markup for the retailer that ultimately cuts into DeWalt's profits. Harbor Freight doesn't have that. They are the retailer. They still have the design, manufacturing, and shipping costs, but they're the distributor, and so their margins are simply bigger than a company like DeWalt. And that is ultimately how they're able to keep their costs so low, and that's how they've been able to be so successful over time. But that is about to change because there's a new competitor that's planning on opening stores in the US that will compete directly with Harbor Freight's business model. But before I get into the details on that, I want to tell you about this video's sponsor, Tecovas. Now, I love my Tecovas boots, and I've got a couple pairs, but I actually just got this brand new pair in, and I want to show you guys how awesome these boots really are. They're super comfortable right out of the box. They look great, fun to wear. I really love my Tecovas boots. Now, I personally really like the square-toed boot, but they have just about every style that you can think of on their website. And better yet, if you live near a Tecovas store, you can go and check them all out in person. And I really suggest that you do that. Their staff is super friendly. You can see everything that they have to offer. And I've got to admit that I really love the smell of leather, and that's what this place smells like. Tecovas has been a fantastic partner for the channel. And again, I really, really love their boots. And so if you're in the market for a new pair of high quality Western boots, check out Tecovas. You'll be glad that you did. You can click on the link in my description or scan the QR code on the screen to get your new favorite pair of boots today. Now back to the video. All right, so there is a new competitor to Harbor Freight coming to the US, and that is a company called Vevor. Now, you most likely are not familiar with Vevor, but some of you may be. And if you are, drop a comment below and tell us what you think of them. Regardless of whether you've heard of them or not, they are a company that sells a huge range of products, including tons of different tools. In fact, they have over 20,000 unique products or SKUs, from things like this to things like this. By comparison, Harbor Freight has around 8,000 SKUs. Now, Vevor just opened its first US retail store in Houston, and while it's only one store right now, Harbor Freight should be shaking in their boots. To illustrate why, I want to show you an example of a tool. So let's pick this spindle sander. Now, this is the spindle sander from Harbor Freight, and it costs $199. And they tell you to compare it with the rigid model, which is $299. And you can see that here on Home Depot's website. But if you look at the comparable Vevor product, it's selling for $144. Now that's a big difference. And here's the interesting thing. If you look at these products side by side, they're very, very similar. And they could have even come out of the same factory in China. So if Harbor Freight superpower is their low prices, how is it that Vevor can get them even lower? Well, Vevor was founded in 2007 and is based out of Shanghai, China. Because of their location, they're very close to the factories that produce the items that they sell, which can help a lot when it comes to communication and time from design to production. A company designing from the US is simply at a disadvantage when all of the manufacturing takes place in China. Added to that, Vevor owns some factories of its own. Harbor Freight doesn't own any factories, and so while Harbor Freight owns the retail, the distribution locations, which give them a leg up on other companies like DeWalt from our first example, by owning factories, Vevor is even more vertically integrated, which can allow them to make their prices even lower. Now, the retail store that they're opening is about 32,000 square feet. And to put that into context, the average Harbor Freight store is about 15,000 square feet. And so this store is a little bit more than twice the size of your average Harbor Freight. And it's likely that they won't just carry tools, but they may carry a lot of other products as well. So what do you guys think? Should Harbor Freight be worried? Would you shop at a Vevor over a Harbor Freight if the prices are lower? Do you think that the added competition will make Harbor Freight better in any way? Or do you think that their days are numbered? Leave me a comment and let me know your thoughts. Now here's the thing, this is just one store. Harbor Freight has had decades to build their brand and to build out all their stores. And so Vevor isn't going to be an immediate threat on the retail side overnight. Also, it's really expensive to open stores. And so for Vevor to implement any kind of national expansion strategy, it's going to take a ton of capital, a ton of money. And it's going to take time. But they are a real threat. And for all we know, they may already be in the process of buying up real estate and opening more stores. The problem is that we have no idea. The company is privately held and is based in China, which doesn't have the same kind of disclosure rules and laws that we do in the US. And so we have no idea who really owns the company. We have no idea who's leading it, and we have no idea what their plans are. That's different from Harbor Freight. Now, Harbor Freight is a private company, but they do report a lot of information. We do have an idea of what their sales are, and we know who their leadership is, and they release press releases all the time to let us know what's going on. Now, Harbor Freight oftentimes gets criticized for selling Chinese and other foreign tools, and I've even heard of a lot of people that refer to them as China Freight. But we also know that most of their employees are based in the US and their owner is an American. And so by extension, the profits of a company like Harbor Freight are far more likely to stay within the US. The profits for a company like Vevor are headed out, apart from whatever investments they may make into the business in the US. That's got to be worth some consideration when it comes time to make a purchase at one place over another. And here's the other thing. I think that we would all buy American-made products if we could, but in these times, most tools simply are not made in the US. In fact, I made a video all about craftsmen's challenges in reshoring their tool manufacturing. And so if you want to, check that out. It's a really interesting video. I'll leave a link below as well for you to see it. Another thing to think about too is that vertically integrated businesses sometimes are really hard to manage. You know, businesses succeed when they become really good at one thing. If they're a really good retailer, they do that one thing really, really well, that's where they make their money. But the more kind of specialties that you implement, the more difficult it becomes. It's hard for a company to be a good retailer and a good distributor and a good manufacturer and a good designer. It takes a lot to manage that. And so I think those are some challenges that Vevor may face as they kind of open up this retail store. They may not know what they're doing unless they've hired the right people. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens. So I've never bought a Vevor tool, and so I'm really curious to know what you guys think of them. If you've used Vevor products, leave me a comment and let me know your thoughts. Also, do you see Vevor as a serious competitor to Harbor Freight, or do you think that they'll just never be able to quite get off the ground in the US in the same way? Like I say, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens next. Now, I'm in Dallas, their store's in Houston, so I'm not super close to the store, but the next time I'm passing through, I'm going to make a point to head over and see what it's like, and I'll be sure to make a video to show you guys. Also, if any of you are in the Houston area and you've been there, leave a comment and tell us what it's like. I'm sure we all like to hear. As always, thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit that thumbs up, share it with someone who will find it interesting, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.